Declan Rice, 9 times out of 10, he delivers the ball where it needs to be delivered.
I can't remember a time. I honestly cannot. But it's one game. The sun shines on a dog's ass from time to time. But the thing is, like with Declan Rice,
do you know why?
Yeah, but you can because he's got like 3 goals in like 2 years. I'm expecting a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Give it a rest. 3 goals in 2.
I'm just.
By the way, the more I'm saying this, my mind is blown. He's just put in one of the most complete performances, and he's been doing it every game. Guys, let us know in the comments, is Declan Rice world class or not? I think he is. Mark says he isn't. There are 3 things in life that are inevitable: death, taxes, and Arsenal never conceding a shot on goal. Guys, we are going to review the game between Burnley and Arsenal, including the stat of the day that no one, and I mean no one else, is talking about. So make sure you stick around for that. You don't want to miss it. Marky Mark, another clean sheet, another win. The Arsenal bus rolls on. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're an Arsenal fan right now, I'm sure you guys are really loving it. You guys played unbelievable, especially in the first half. Everything did kind of change, though, when Gyökeres went off. It did go a little bit flat, which is a little bit concerning. And we're going to, as well as your injuries, which are starting to pick up regularly. It's a good thing you guys have a vast squad. But let's touch on the importance super quickly of Gyökeres, because Giza, I think the last game where you won 2-0, he was unbelievable. He was I'm glad he got the goal. That's what now 3-3. But it's actually what he's actually doing in the game itself. He's running rampant. He's actually creating chaos. I actually think legitly he is the actual true agent of chaos, not some deadbeat like Darwin Núñez. He's only gonna get better. It is a bit concerning though, as I said, how it's like a game of 2 halves. When he went off, you guys were not the same. And he's injured. I think it's like a muscle injury. Hopefully he's back soon for you guys. But well and truly, you guys were so in control. Arsenal are just the set piece kings. Another goal with a set piece. I'm glad you scored from open play. I'm glad Decker's got on the score sheet, because we're going to talk about him. But Giza, your defense is just unbelievable. 1 shot on target. What else can I say?
Zero shots on target. 0.
Oh,
just FYI.
Okay.
0. They count in the free kick that hit the post as a shot on target, which technically doesn't count as a shot on target. So it is technically, Mark, another game without a shot conceded on target. I just want to pick you up on Gyökeres before we move on. Yes, 3-3. Look, obviously his best game in an Arsenal shirt, right? I think you and I could both agree on that. He was very good. Not just the fact that he got his goal, the fact that his play in general, his first touch was quality. There's a couple of moments, one where Saka shoots and it gets saved, and Gyökeres' first touch again recycles the ball so well. But obviously that ball played for the second goal. So that ball played crossfield to Trossard, who then crosses it over for, the main man, Declan. And I do believe he's the main man at the moment, Declan, the work that he does to get his header and get his goal, which was well deserved. But Gyökeres, Mark, there's a lot of talk on social media, online, through pundits, presenters, podcasters, influencers about Gyökeres' first touch. Oh, he hasn't got a first touch. His first touch is terrible. I tell you what, it didn't look bad to me. His first touch was on point during the game. And like you said, agent of chaos. He really was on it against Burnley. So let's hope he's not injured properly and it was just more of a precaution removal. Him getting subbed off again, look, it did change the game a bit, but not enough for Burnley. I think the game was done. They've never really threatened us with. They tried, and I think Burnley. By the way, I got apologies to Scott Parker. I said he'll be terrible coming back into the Premier League, and so far I think he's done a pretty good job. He's gotten pretty organised, so fair play to him. But yeah, Gyökeres, what a game for him. He was really, really good. Got his goal, as you said, delivered from a set piece. Now, Mark, 2 things. First things first, guys. those of you that are watching right now, like and subscribe. You know who you are. You regularly engage with us. We appreciate you so much. Just don't forget to like and subscribe. Massively appreciate it. Second thing, I want to talk to you about set pieces. You said we scored a set piece goal, Mark.
Again.
And I think what happens is the narrative in the media is, oh, set piece FC, right? And I actually want to be a little bit different, Mark, and I want to break down the art behind the set piece, because it too often for me it gets said flippantly, right? But it is actually a work of art. Note that we've had the most touches in the opposition box this season of any team, and that means that obviously teams are defending deep against us. They're defending the low block, as they call it. So we get a lot of touches in the opposition box. We've got to break them down, but obviously that leads to a lot of corners as well. Now, the delivery, Mark. Declan Rice delivers better than Saka. Declan Rice, 9 times out of 10, he delivers the ball where it needs to be delivered. And that we should actually just not skirt over, right? He's got a wand of a right foot, whether it's back post, whether it's near post, he puts it on a sixpence for the big boys to come and attack it. That's first things first. And secondly, the runs that our boys make, whether it's, again, back post or near post, they're so physical in their approach and they time their runs so perfectly. It's so hard to defend against.
Geezer, any team that plays Arsenal, when Arsenal get a free kick or a corner, every team, including Chelsea, including any team in world football, are absolutely just going to crap their pants, right? Because I think in world football, there is no better team at set pieces than Arsenal FC. It is such a weapon to have, especially in the Premier League when there's so many throw-ins and so many long balls going on, more than ever that I've noticed in a long time. It's just such a weapon. And as you said, it's something that, my team can learn. I would like them to learn that, right? Because Chelsea have such a problem with low blocks and Arsenal do as well, but they have the perfect weapon to overcome that, is just get a set piece. Because then it's 50-50. It's almost like having a penalty. It's that much of an asset that you guys have. That being said, Geezer, you're still not blowing teams away, right? I'm still would like a little bit more urgency, a little bit more creativity.
No,
but
I couldn't care less.
I'm just saying what I see, Geezer.
Yeah.
If the question is, if you guys start really dominating, being really forward thinking, forward playing, right? And you're dominating and you're scoring much more goals from open play. I don't think that it will just be the Premier League that they need to worry about Arsenal. I think that you'll put a statement around world football, right? But right now, you're not playing, high tempo.
Do you think we've already
away.
made a statement in Europe, though? We beat Atletico 4-0, 4 goals in 30 minutes.
You did.
Do you think
you did one
there's
game.
Teams in Europe? I mean, I'm genuinely asking here. I'm not getting defensive. I'm basically saying, do you think there's teams in Europe that saw that result and went, well, hello, Arsenal are doing something over in England, aren't they?
To dismantle Atlético Madrid in the Champions League 4-0 is kind of unheard of. I could ask anyone, when's the last time Diego Simeone's team has been beaten 4-0 and like in the manner that they lost? I can't remember a time. I honestly cannot. But it's one game. The sun shines on a dog's ass from time to time. And the result could have been different on another day. You go down to Atletico, you beat them in their own ground, and you absolutely come away with the same result, and you absolutely dominate them, demolish them, tear them apart. Then, bro, you'll be putting a real statement in world football. But for me, to put you down as second favourites by the bookies to win the Champions League, considering your history of not winning fucking anything for God knows how long, you've never won the Champions League, it's a little bit beyond me. Yeah, because I still think you could teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, PSG. I
But do you
reckon
know
I'll
why,
put my money
Mark,
on them
do you
instead.
know? Yeah, I get it, but do you know why? They're going based on the present, aren't they? And at the present, they've got to judge it on this team is not conceding goals. So if they don't concede goals in Champions League, and that is it's such a massive
You're
weapon
right.
not to concede goals in a cup comp, right? Because if you're,
It's true.
we've not conceded a single goal in the Champions League so far, like not even one. So when we've only conceded 3 across all competitions, and they all came in the Premier League. So, and now we're about 15, 16 games into the season, Mark. So the reason why they've put us second favourites, by the way, like I said, it's a lottery for me. I'm looking at Munich as my tip to win it. So I do get what you're saying, Mark. I'm looking at Munich. I'm looking at PSG. I'm looking at Real Madrid even. They've got firepower that'll test us, and that will test
Real
that defense.
test.
Yeah, it is a real test.
I
Right,
could say
Mark.
to you, before I go, I could say to you, what on-form team, quality team, on form, have you actually beaten this season?
Yeah, it's a great point.
I would not put Real Madrid, even though they smashed 5 goals past Real Madrid. If you have a look at all their other scores, like Giza, they're all losses or draws with 1 or 2 wins sprinkled in there. It's not a huge defining statement to beat Atletico Madrid because their results have been so varied throughout the beginning of the season. Let's see how you actually perform against a team.
We've not beaten Liverpool, we've not beaten Man City, and that's the thing, right? I guess
what's
looking like a good
City.
win. Well, yeah, what's looking like a good win at the moment, given Man United are on a half decent run, going to Old Trafford, getting 3 points. But yeah, we've just been doing what we need to do. So, and
you have been.
You can only do what you can do, right? You can only beat who's in front of you, and that's the point, Mark. We're ticking off the games one by one. Now, I want to just quickly, because it's a Burnley Arsenal review. I think Burnley was set up really solid. I think Scotty P set them up really nicely, but with that first goal broke them in the first half, and it broke them really, and it kind of actually broke the back of the game. So, because it led to the second goal, about 15 minutes later. So, Gyökeres, he gets a goal, great positioning. But the layoff. Okay, so Declan whips it into the far post, the back stick, and it's big Gabby. When you watch what Gabriel is doing there, he's either scoring from these corners or he's assisting. But this time he's not flicking a header back in. He has laid it off on the volley, side foot, and put it on a sixpence, on a plate for Gyökeres. So that goal was pure class. Declan whips it in. Gabby gets a side foot volley just onto Gyökeres' head, who knocks it in from on the line, basically, right? And this is the thing, Mark. We've not had anyone in that spot, for a period of time. We've not necessarily had anyone that's always going to be there or thereabouts, right? We said he's got 3 and 3. Here's the stat of the day. And you can talk about not conceding goals. You can talk about no shots on target. You can talk about Arsenal on 6 wins in a row now without conceding a goal. But the stat, everyone's talking about that though. The stat that I want to talk to you about, Marky Mark, is Gyökeres' last 3 goals across the last 3 games have come from a combined total of less than 5 yards out. We haven't had a striker like that for a long time. A guy who's poaching goals in or on around and in and around the line, right? A yard out, 2 yards out. He's on the line. He's tackling goals into the. He's making tackles into the net. Like that. He's a battering ram, and that's something we haven't had. When we've got to score ugly, Mark. We had a lot of this, right? Oh, Arsenal, they're playing good football, then they go a bit side to side, but if, they can't break teams down, certain teams, they can't break them down. That's where we need the battering ram. Gyökeres, 3 goals, combined total of 4.5 yards. That is the stat I love, and that's the stat that no one else out there is talking about. I think he's serving a purpose, bro. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, look. He's picking up form. He's having more impact into the game. Let's see if he's able to continue that, because just to play devil's advocate, before the 3 goals, he hasn't scored in like over 10 hours of football, right? That was concerning. We mentioned this on the previous pods, but it's all about the now. It's all about improving. It's all about getting used to how Arsenal play. It's all getting used to how the Premier League works, how adapting to how intense it is. And that can take different players, different times to adapt. He's got 3 goals. He's doing his thing. He's causing havoc. He's opening up spaces. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's scoring the ugly goals. And we know, like, I think his first goal in Arsenal in the Premier League, when he cut it in, we know he's clinical and can also shoot outside the box. He's going to be a real weapon for you. Keep playing to his strengths. Keep teaching him and getting him used to playing with the team and getting used to Arteta's demands. And I think that you guys are going to have a real striker. Right? I said it before when you guys signed him. A lot of Arsenal fans, a lot of other pundits were saying, "Oh, you know what? They should go for Sesko. Sesko was actually Arteta's first choice." But you and I both said it's all about Gyökeres. But can Gyökeres do it in the highest level? Because he can do it at Coventry Championship. He can do it in the Sporting in the Portuguese league, but can he do it at the highest level in the Premier League, which is the highest level? And it looks like he's starting to adapt. Let's see. He's going to be scary good. And you guys are already so good at set pieces. He's only going to be able to capitalize on that. So, yeah, he's one to watch.
He is one to watch because the goal drought is there. And, okay, he scored 3 and 3, but it's more the manner of the goals, and it's more the fact that where did he score them from? It means, what does that tell us, right? It means that we're looking for him. Because how is he able to score them from, I know he's a couple of them from corners, but how is he able to score them from a yard out, 2 yards out? Do you know what I mean? And we're looking for him, which is a great sign, Arsenal fans. So, Gyökeres, his best game in an Arsenal shirt. Let's hope he's not out.
Definitely.
We want him for Sunderland because that is going to be a tough game actually against Sunderland. Burnley, they came back at us in the second half. I think we were pretty controlled though. Declan Rice had a cracking game. And I think all round, it was a really, really great performance from him. The amount of times he broke play up, that was a complete box-to-box midfielder's performance that against Burnley, topped off with a goal from a header.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just wouldn't swap him for anyone. I love him. He just does so much for us. What we need, he is providing. So, you know, he was a real heartbeat against Burnley. I think Burnley struggled to cope against that. But before we move on, I'll throw it over to you if you've got any couple of words for Rice.
I'll swap him for a couple of players. Because there's so much talk about Declan Rice being world class. He is. And they're saying he's the best all-round midfielder in the Premier League. I'll admit that. At this moment in time, I'd agree. But unlike Moises Caicedo, who I do believe can fit into any team in world football right now, in terms of actual Declan Rice's position and what he does, in the Premier League, I'll admit he is the best all-round action-packed midfielder in the Premier League. But outside that, there's a few other footballers I'll have ahead of him. There's definitely. I'll have.
Tell me.
Okay.
At Arsenal.
Pedri. I'd have him. People say he's the number 1 midfielder, all-action midfielder right now, and I agree with that. And even at Arsenal, I think he'll do a better job. Because look, I'm going to go into it. The thing is, like with Declan Rice,
do you know why?
Look, but you can because he's got like 3 goals in like 2 years. I'm expecting a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Give it a rest.
Bro,
3 goals in 2.
Okay, go on then. Where's the stats? Go and get it.
I'm sure we can pull out. He's probably got 3 or 4 goals already this season, but he's assists. This is my point. The reason why I'm not saying Pedri's not a better footballer, but how can
Arsenal.
Yeah, because bro, we rely on corners and set pieces and delivery, right? A lot. That's a big part of our game. So if Big Gabby's waiting and you got Pedri taking the freaking free kick, that ain't going to help us. He might be a better player all round, and people can talk about it, and you can debate that separately. And Caicedo, I think, is a great destroyer. What I'm saying, that's my point. I said when I made that statement for Arsenal, for us.
Okay.
There is no player we can replace him with because his delivery from dead
But we're talking about
balls.
him being world class, which means would he be
Well,
first
that's a different
starter?
conversation.
But I'm talking about that now, right?
Okay,
Because I've
I think he is
established
world
already.
class.
I think he's. But there are teams that in the world football, I don't think that he would be an automatic starter.
I don't think he gets into some of them for sure.
Exactly. So how does that make him world class? We're not talking about the Premier League. We're talking about world class.
We're talking about
a world class player, Geezer, should be able to be a starter in pretty much any frigging team.
That's not possible because say if you've got 3 world-class right listen, if you've got 3 world-class right wingers, yeah, in world football right now, 3 world-class right wingers, not all of them can get in on the right wing, can they? That's what I'm saying. It depends on the strength.
But there's going to be one better than the other.
Actually, let me retract that. What team doesn't Declan? Let me rephrase that. What team doesn't Declan Rice get into?
I don't think he gets into PSG. Because I would rather have Vitinha play for that team. I don't think he gets into the Barcelona team. Yeah, because I'd rather have Pedri play there. Right? I probably don't think he even gets into Real Madrid's team because I will still pick Jude Bellingham, who's now coming into form. Yeah?
These are actually they're wild statements. I tell you what, the more I'm thinking about it, I think he does get into pretty much every team.
I don't.
We're talking about a number 8. You can accommodate. You can even go 6, 8, 8, can't you? You can have 2 number 8s.
Yes, okay.
To be honest, you could have 2 number 8s. You could have Declan and Pedri. That could work. You could have Declan and Jude.
But if you had to pick one or the other for those teams, I'd pick the players which I've just said. That's just my opinion. Yeah. I still want a little bit more from him.
But what more do you want? He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. What more do you want?
Last game.
He actually, bro, you know what? He does get in. He does get in.
I want more goals. I want more goals. Yeah.
He's delivering them. He is delivering. Bro, he scored 2 and 2. Hasn't he? He's got 2 and 2.
What's he done before that? What's he done last season?
Guys, let us know in the comment. I'm not going to go into now.
What's he done? But I'm asking you, what's he done last season?
Let us know None of us did anything last season. We were just hampered, right? We didn't deliver. But he is adding more goals to his game. I think actually because of his wand of a right foot, I think he gets into a lot of these teams, bro. Okay, Jude Bellingham, you can argue. If Pedri, you can argue. But guess what? If they have a free kick, Real Madrid or Barcelona have a free kick, or they have a corner, they're going to be looking at who, bro? They're going to be like, oh, shit, I'd love fucking Declan to be taking this.
There's so many players that can do that.
Who delivers a dead ball right now better than Declan? I just can't think of one. Guys, let us know how many goals, by the way, Declan has got. Mark, we do need to wrap this up because we've gone down a rabbit hole of Declan Rice.
I love Decker's in it. I love Decker's,
we both agree he's world class, yes or no?
No.
I'm going world class. Mark's going no. Guys, let us know if you think Declan Rice is world class. By the way, the more I'm saying this, my mind is blown. He's just put in one of the most complete performances, and he's been doing it every game. Guys, let us know in the comments. Is Declan Rice world class or not? I think he is. Mark says he isn't. Let us know. One last bit of content we need to cover today, or one last point, Mark, before we wrap this up. I'll be quick. We have to talk about Bukayo Saka. He didn't have the best day in front of goal. He actually had 2 or 3 gilt-edged chances to really bury Burnley, especially in that first half. And both times he didn't not just take them, they were poor finishes. Does he need to improve his finishing, in your opinion?
No. Bro, he's been so clinical. He's been so clinical for you for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. He's been your main go-to guy.
He has been our main go-to, yes.
So does that mean he's lost it, or does it mean he's a little bit off form, or does that actually mean he could be carrying an injury, which could be affecting his gameplay? We don't really know, because this season, he hasn't really been on fire. And I do believe, you can correct me because you are the Arsenal guy, it feels like he's not fully fit, or he's carrying some sort of injury, right? This is my honest opinion, because he's been so consistent, and he's picking up injuries regularly now. I think he's a little bit burnt out, or he's a little bit injured, or something's not quite right. But That's down to Mikel Arteta to find the root of the problem and to fix it any way that they need to. He's got a full support of a boardroom, of his back staff, of his doctors. Work out what the problem is. But don't tell me, I don't believe that he's got a problem with his finishing. No.
He's all right with it. I don't think he's injured. I think he's all right. Now, the reason why I bring this up, okay, so you don't think he's got a problem with finishing. His finishing, by the way, I'm not saying he has or he hasn't. What I am saying is I'm posing the question, right? Now, there's different types of finishing, right? When you look and think of Bukayo Saka goals, there's two types of goals that you think of, right? He gets in behind, on the right, he gets in behind and he sort of blasts it in, either near post or into the roof of the net. You can see him doing that. He's got in behind Robertson a couple of times over the years at Liverpool. He again gets into those positions where he's shooting from a slight angle, right, on the right, yeah? Now, he can score those with his left or typically his right foot. He'll blast it straight up into the roof of the net, or near post, he'll catch the goalkeeper napping. Or he cuts inside onto his left, and you've seen him from the corner of the box or just outside the box. You've seen him whip it, fast stick, bend it in, right? So that's where we've seen him score his goals from, on the right-hand side. These two chances, especially one of them, were a bit more central. And here's what I'm trying to ask here. When he's in those positions where maybe a number 9 finds themselves in, or he's played through and is a little bit more front on goal, not coming in from the right, I don't see him scoring many. I don't see him just slotting them away. You know, like how Haaland is through, right? You know he's going to, when he's facing the goalkeeper up and he's basically got the goal right in front of him instead of an angle, you know Haaland's putting that ball away. That's a fact. And you see Martinelli actually score quite a few goals like that. When he was scoring goals for us regularly, he actually scores quite a few centrally for us. When Saka finds himself in those central positions, he's less likely to score. He's less clinical than when he is cutting in on the left, on his left foot, or going in behind on his right and putting them away from that right-hand side. That's my take on it. Guys, I don't know if you agree with me or not. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think I'm barking mad. I'd like to know what you think. Let us know in the comments below. That's what I meant, Mark, about his finishing. I'll let you bring it home once you finish your bit.
I don't think it's. I think it's just down to Arsenal finding out what the problem with him is, or it could just be a little bit loss of confidence.
He's got no problem. He's still scoring.
Yeah,
he's got no problem. Yeah, he's still scoring. He scored last week, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think exactly. I don't think there's actually a problem with Bukayo Saka in terms of his finishing. He's human. We all miss. No one's frigging perfect. You know, your next game, he could actually score like a brace or score a hat-trick. You just never know. He'll score a goal or have much more of an impact in the game. What I would say though, okay, is the only, as well as, you know, being more creative, having more urgency in your open play, it's your injuries. You are lucky that you have a vast, strong squad, because you're picking up regularly injuries almost every single game now. And that is a little bit concerning. And that is something that the manager, Mikel Arteta, needs to actually sort out. Are you concerned by that?
He has sorted it. Yeah, I am. I don't like the number of injuries. Again. Hold on. I don't like the number of injuries we're picking up. Who the hell would? But I push back on this notion of luck. Like, why are you saying we're lucky that you've got a deep squad? He's fucking built it for this reason, bro.
All right, you paid. You're not lucky. You paid for it. All right, no worries at all.
Well, everyone pays for a squad, don't they? Well, everyone pays for. Oh, Rich coming from a Chelsea fan. Listen, everyone pays to buy a squad. I rate Arteta. Here's the thing, though. I would say, yeah, it's a bit concerning. We are picking up a lot of injuries, man.
You are.
That is a bit annoying, but maybe you can account for that. Maybe you can't. Yes, he has built a deep squad to cover this, but you know, we have a couple more players going down. We could even be trouble. We could be in trouble then as well. Let's see. But yeah, right now
I think you're really in trouble. If something happens to Deckers, if something happens to Gabriel, and that could happen, you're so reliant on them, which means they have to play most games.
That's the same with every club. I'll tell you what, if something happens to Haaland, City are fucked. They're literally reliant on one dude. The guy is a machine. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world right now. Arsenal have got a ton of injuries already. Saliba was injured. Jesus, Havertz, Odegaard, our captain's injured. Noni Madueke, everyone's injured. We're still surviving.
They're
So
all crap.
we can still. They're all going to win the league. So we can get
up,
by.
Bro. You ain't won
more
nothing
injuries.
Yet, bro. Relax.
No, that's
relax.
what they're going to. They're going to. I've already said it. Mark.
It's not God given. It's not God given. I know you have. No. But you're going to look silly and stupid at the end of the season. It is fair enough.
I reckon we'll win.
Fair enough. But you're talking like you won it. And you've only played 9, 10 games.
I just said we're going to win. I just said we're going to win, Mark. If I said we'd already won
so you're talking like you've won it. Yeah, same thing. For me, that's the same frigging thing.
In May. We haven't won it yet, but I think we're going to win it.
And
do you know why I think
we're
going to win it?
If you don't do it. Yeah, go on.
I think we're going to do it because we're a machine. We're ticking games off one by one, and everyone else does have massive holes. Now, of course, we might not win it. City might chase us down, but something feels different to me this season. I've said to you before, I think we'll do it. Let's see. But yeah, deep squad, big squad, but it could wear thin if we pick up any more injuries.
Yep. And there you have it, guys. Let us know in the comments. There's a lot of talking points there. Do you think that Declan Rice is world class? Can he play for any team in the world? Like the boy Moises Caicedo. Is it fair that Arsenal should be bookies' second favourite to win the Champions League based on one game where they destroyed Atlético Madrid, who weren't even that great or not even playing that great this season? Let us know in the comments down below, guys. And if you want to see more of our content, click this video right here. We'll see you lot there. Thank you.